I'm a gamer. I do my video blog of autism and the community. There really needs to be more um, people to understand us. Like the other day, someone asked how summer so far has. It's been very stressful, and they were like rude to me back and said, that's every day. Well, the kind of stress I had, they didn't even know what I was going through. The stress I was going through was the, um, like, most of my grandparents ended up in the hospital, and then stress from the pandemic, and stress of people blaming me for things. So, yeah, but this blog is people need to be more understanding with autism. Like, you can't just treat us um, any way you want to. Just understand us. Need more people to understand what I'm going through. So yeah, really trying um, to become more, have more like inclusive education for people with autism or intellectual disability in the universities, because once you finish high school, if you want to go to university, you're on your own, and you could struggle. A lot of people with autism, when they go to university, they either flunk out or they drop out because they just can't handle the loads stuff. Um, there's a small percentage of us that actually do go through. And it takes us a long time to get a job. Like for me, when I was 19, I was 18, but in some sort of dumb work program that didn't work out for me. It was supposed to be for 2 years. I did it for 1 year and I just didn't want to do it anymore. They didn't know my education level and they could have just called the school I went to. I was reading books at a junior high level and they were trying to do stuff for me at a kindergarten level, and I just sat there and I was frustrated because it was too easy and I was bored and I fell asleep because it was too easy for me. And I literally would look at the clock and wait until the day was over. It was like torture every day. Um, there needs to be more stuff out there. And then when I was turned 19, I found another job that it really wasn't like a team building job, and I was lonely there and I left it there. Then I went on a work program called Anchor that was for a full year. To the second year, they would coach you in the community, but in the first part of the year, it was like classroom stuff, and that was really good because they would teach you the proper work habits, the do's and don'ts at work. Um, then I got a volunteer job, and I didn't get my first job until I was mm, about 5 years ago. So I was about like 26 then. So it took until I was 26, and then I got my first permanent job was at the school board when I was 28. Actually, I was 27 then I turned 28. And then um, uh, that job, um, they didn't really fire me. All they did was just laid me off. Because they said I needed to work on some of my skills, but they said that I could visit there anytime I want. And then when I turned 28, I was 28, turning 29. I got, I was, I got my job um, at doing data entry. So it took me until I was 29 to get I was turned 29 to get my job that I do now. So that's a very long time from high school until now, because people with disabilities get to sort of stick in the community. People forget about us. We bounce around from job to job, and from work program to work program, because it feels like no one really wants us in the community, except for building futures. They're one of the good places, but other program that I did when I just out of high school, I wish I could have gone back to high school, but they didn't have that 21 program when I graduated, unfortunately. I wish they did, but the time they did have it, I was already turning 20. I was already 21 at that point, so I was too old. If they did it when I was 19, I would have, but yeah. Um, because now when you graduate, you go back to high school and they teach you like life skill stuff, like counting money, how to pay your bills and stuff like that, and then they take you out to communities, showing you workplaces and stuff that interests you, and then they teach you life skills of how to take the bus, those kind of things. Because when I was out of high school, I didn't know how to take the bus. And that program I was in, they were very mean to me when I got lost. It's completely different from a school bus taking public transit. A school bus has assigned stops, and they just take you to the school. It really wasn't that hard. Well, sort of, but not really, compared to the city transit. I'm used to it now because building futures taught me the bus routes and that kind of stuff. And, well, the government really needs to do that, because I do have interest in university courses, but there's no IPP. It stops when you graduate or when you turn 21. Like, honestly, they should have a university version of it, and it should be at any age. As soon as you enter university, it applies to you if you really want that assistance. Because a lot of us are interested in college, university, like to further education, that kind of stuff. It's just, we get the sword end of the stick we get forgotten about. Sometimes people treat me like a child because I have autism, but I'm an adult with autism. With autism, we grow up like everyone else does, at the same things. We grow up like everyone else does. Just that we see the world different. I can see patterns in things. I actually like that. Like when I look at a tree, I can see all the patterns. When I look at my camera, I can see all the patterns in it. And when I build a model, I can see in I can picture it where it's supposed to go in and where I'm supposed to glue. Because I'm very visual like that, and when I build Legos and Mega Blocks, I can see the pieces where they're supposed to go in. When I look at the instruction book, I can picture it. I can picture it right in front of my eyes, even though it's not there. But I can just picture it. Just picture that it's there, and then just put the blocks in. And there really needs to be more, um, more programs. There needs to be more stuff for people with disabilities. When you're a child with disability, there's all kinds of stuff. Once you hit adult, there's like really nothing. And then if I wanted to move out of my house, it would take me 10 to 20 years to get a group home or like assisted living with, like helping me with like to buy groceries and to manage like my money. But yeah, but I don't mind living with my parents, but um, living with my family. But if I want to move out, it'll take me 10 to 20 years. That is a human rights violation. Because a lot of times the government forgets about the human rights. I just, um, well, this is the end of my blog, and my message to the world is to be understanding to people with autism or intellectual disability, and please don't be rude to us. Be understanding and to sit there and talk, and then ask why something's stressing them out, or ask why was like that. Just be understanding and kind, and don't be rude and that kind of stuff. Because we're people too, and you are loved. And hope you have a good day, morning, evening, afternoon, night, whatever time you watch this blog. And I hope that you have a great day, week, or weekend if you watch this over the weekend.